Hey guys, so today I want to look at Iniesta's one-touch passing. Of course, is very well known for his passing. So first, I was just wanting to kind of see his technique and to see if he really had like a different technique. And actually, like looking at him, it looks like he does. I like looking at footage of these players training because it's like a lot of close-up footage, and normally in a game, they're like far away and they don't really zoom up unless they're doing something flashy like maybe shooting or dribbling one on one. But it's those little things like those touches, the one touch passing. I'm trying to fine tune, which can really elevate my game and maybe yours too. So I'll play Iniesta doing a one touch pass in this rondo. So as the ball goes to Iniesta, you see, first thing to note is, of course, like he has his ankle locked in like kind of like almost 90 degrees at the ankle right here, and you see where he touches the ball. So you see, this is his plant foot, kind of leans back a little. It's maybe like a foot and a half in front of him where he makes contact with the ball, and you see how he falls through. Like what I kind of noticed right away when I first did this after and then imitated him was he like stretches out, and then as he stretches out, it's not like curved like this, or he doesn't like chop it down because I find like a lot of players they like to put some backspin on the ball so the ball like has some pace but doesn't like bounce around like this. But he doesn't seem like he really puts backspin to it. He kind of just like pushes it straight like this, and it has very little bounce and like it's really quick. So like ankle locked 90 degrees at the ankle, and then just pushes straight out. See, at this point, his leg is pretty much straight, just forward like that. It's almost like an elastic band. Like he kicks it out, and then I don't know, like it's just straight out with the ankle locked sideways still. Again, the natural tendency is to kind of like do this and like curve your leg. Now, what's more is like what I found I didn't correct. You see, when Iniesta does this pass, I think it does vary depending on how far the player is. But you see, he has very little backlift here. You see, when I do it, like naturally, I'll like have my leg like this, and then to wind up to ready to hit it. But no, like he keeps it here, so I think this is good because like maybe like disguises where he's gonna pass. So maybe like at the last second he could actually turn his ankle and pass there. Well, whereas like if you like wind up here and like and do this, the defenders can kind of guess where you're gonna pass to and can maybe mark your teammate or come close you down a bit quicker. Okay, here's my attempt at doing the one touch pass like Iniesta. So as the ball comes towards me like this, I try to hit it more in front of me, but you see, like compared to Iniesta, like it seemed like he hit it a bit like over here compared to just like left plant foot, whereas I still like hit it fairly close. So I think this is due is see my backlift. I lifted a lot further off the ground than Iniesta does. It seems like Iniesta barely lifts it, maybe like over here. So that's something I got to work on. Also, since he is hitting it a bit further out, I find like he leans back like this to gain leverage for his leg to kick out and go straight more. So one thing I did again, what I noticed immediately was that ankle locked at 90 degrees and going straight like this rather than curving out. But still doing it this way. So I think maybe it has partially to do with a backlift and hitting it a little too close to my body rather than out. I think naturally, like I do like curve my foot. Now, looking at some other passes from Iniesta, sometimes he does do that naturally because your leg can't like stay like sideways the whole time, especially if you angle it up too much. But that's just a principle to have. Just essentially just make sure I hit it further out and have very little backlift, so it can fool the defender, make it like a really quick one-touch pass. Now here's an example of Iniesta actually doing a little bit more of a backlift than he did in the previous clip, and I think as a result his ankle does turn in a bit, but the principle's like the same. So here's his pass. So as the ball comes to him, you see, he does a little bit of a wind up. So it's a bit more than he did previously. It's still less than mine, so he doesn't give away where he's going, and it's a little efficient. He doesn't have to, spend too much time winding back. And then, it's the same principle. He tries to hit side footed, ankle lock 90 degrees and go straight. But I think, due to this backlift, he can't like, push his ankle straight like this. So, the follow through is a little curved that way. So that's just one thing I wanted to point out there. Now here's a pass where he doesn't do a one-touch pass, so he can't really use the pace of the ball to not really do much of a backlift. So he does a bit more of a backlift here. So as the ball comes to Iniesta, he takes a touch, and now it's dead. You see that. See his leg isn't wound up like this. It's still fairly close to the ground, but just enough, to go, do the same, pushing motion. At this point, the ball isn't out front like this. It's fairly in line with his left foot. And then again, naturally you do curve around like that. Okay, here's a one-touch pass with not a lot of ball momentum. So as the ball goes to Iniesta, you see that backlift, like that, his foot is back a little bit, but it's not wound up like this, up in the air. It's still fairly close to the ground. And then as he pushes it, see again, same principle. Like the ball is like, maybe a foot in front of his plant foot, his left foot, and then he pushes straight like this. Again, for like at least upon contact, it's like this ankle goes out like this, but naturally, you do fall through here. So I think previously when I was talking about not curving your leg, I think it's more important just to make sure at least the time you touch the ball, and then when it gets off your foot, just make sure this is flat and pushed like this before you curve as a natural fall through. Here the ball has a bit more pace when he does the one touch. So it's a bit of a faster moving ball. Again, not much of a backlift. The foot's at least very close to the ground. And then, you see it's about a foot in front. And here, this is like the first example where he doesn't, curve his leg. So I guess maybe that has to do because, there's enough pace in the ball. He doesn't really need to swing his foot through. So, the longer you swing your foot, then naturally you do have to turn it in because you can't keep your ankle straight at that point. But, he just pushes it straight, and that's the end of his fall through. And you see that's actually when he curves, but, the ball's already long gone from his foot.